Good morning, beautiful friends of YouTube. Today we're heading down to my favorite place in the world, the junkyard. Now you might be wondering why we're heading down to the junkyard, but let me just say I bought some of my favorite things in the world from my favorite place in the world. And once I get down there, I'll show you guys what I got. Now these things that I bought, they are for the future. I bought these because, well, it was a good deal for two of them. You're just gonna have to trust me, okay? Just gonna have to trust me. I'll see you down there at the junkyard. All right, so as you can see, we picked up two more 07k engines. Now I know what you're thinking. We already have one in the E30. We already have one in the Mark II. This one's almost ready to go. I'm getting a custom drive shaft made this week so we can kind of test everything and starting to put the core support on and do the cooling system, blah, 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 blah. But I picked up two more engines because I got a screaming deal and I wanted some as, you know, one for backup and then the other is for a different project that we'll work on in the future. So this 07k right here came out of a Beetle. And this one was the cheaper of the two. With 60,000 miles, I got this one for 200 bones, 200 bucks. And this one is a newer 07k, so this one is a CBTA engine code, and this came out of a Jetta. This one was the more expensive of the two with higher mileage. And this one had around 130,000 miles, and it was, I think, like $400. So I picked up two engines for 600 bucks. I don't know, I feel like I couldn't pass up that deal. I had to make that deal. Now you might be wondering why I needed two engines. I did not. I did not need these, but I wanted these, so I bought them. You may also be wondering what I'm going to do with both of them. Well, I can tell you for sure, this one is going to get fully built. I'm talking forged rods, forged pistons, some head work, blah, blah, blah. And this is going to be the backup for the 07k E30. The motor that's in the 07k E30 right now is a completely untouched, unopened 07k that we're gonna try to push to 400, 500-ish horsepower. I know the internet's gonna be like, oh, unopened, they can go to 350 torque. You guys don't think I know this? That I have no idea what these engines are? I know I like these things inside and out. This is like my hyperfixation. I know everything about these engines. Not everything, but there's knowledge, more knowledgeable people out there than I, but you get the point. And this 07k, the super low mile one, is going to be for a future project. What is that project going to be? I can't really tell you because it's a secret. So between the early style and the newer style 07ks, there's going to be two really major differences. On the older 07ks, apparently you can find a forged crank, but it's kind of like finding a needle in a haystack and you got to pull the engine, the oil pan, and kind of check and see if the part number is there or whatever. But they do have a forged crank, so. And apparently the earlier engines have some timing chain issues that people say on the forums and the Facebook groups and whatnot. And with the newer 07ks, you don't have the forged crank, but you have a better flowing head design and an updated timing chain system, apparently, according to the internet. So the older one is going to make 150 crank horsepower and the newer one is going to make 170 crank horsepower. But besides that, there isn't really any other major differences between the two generations of the 07k. The newer one is going to have a Mark VI style header, so it's going to look like this, a little bit more individual. While this one has everything underneath this shield, it's all just kind of like conjoined. But as far as these two go that are in front of me, the lower mile engine is far more clean than the high mileage one. The block still has the factory paint all intact. The head looks nice and clean. Then you come over here and this one looks like it was freaking used as a boat anchor. But I'm really excited to tear into this one because I've always wanted to rebuild an engine from scratch. So doing rods, pistons, all that stuff. I've always wanted to learn how to do it. And now I have a spare one that doesn't really need to go into anything, that I can kind of learn. And if I screw it up, oh well, it was cheap. The local junkyard that I picked these up from have about 10 more for $200. So I will put my receipt up on the freaking screen because a lot of people don't believe me when I say I buy these things for 200 bucks. Everyone's like, oh, that's cap, that's BS. Swear to God, you gotta find the good deals. You just gotta scour the internet and find the good deals and know people. I really didn't need these, but they're here now, so. Oh well. But more than likely, these things are going to sit on the back burner while I focus on the 07k E30 because I really want to test drive it before snow starts falling. Because obviously, if you're new here, this is my Pro-Am drift car, while this is my, like, you know, seat time fun drift car. This 07k is going to push like 400-ish horsepower, and it's mated to a BMW ZF transmission, so you have to get a custom drive shaft, blah, blah, blah. And there's a lot of big question marks with this build, so I really want to get it done and driving before snow falls, and then that way I can work on the turbo kit over the winter and do everything else and do the body kit, the wrap, the interior, blah, blah, blah. I don't expect to see too much with these. They're probably just gonna sit back here. They're kind of like, oh, shop the core, because who doesn't need 2 more 5-cylinder engines for shop the core? But yeah. Now this video isn't gonna be a bunch of wrenching, it's more of gonna be like a shop update because I'm just waiting on parts and crap to show up. So obviously I told you guys about the 07Ks that I bought, but let's look inside of the E30 once I get this jack out of the way. So I started working on painting the interior. Now I started working on getting the cage prepped and ready for paint. I'm just going with like a satin black finish. It looks good to me. We're going full race car. So satin, gunmetal gray, satin black. As you can see here, I was gonna do yellow, but turns out don't like it. So I covered it with black, and then it wasn't dry yet, so easily scrapable. So I'm gonna have to redo that part, but that's okay. Satin gunmetal on the floors, I gotta do that side still. But I figured I would work on that and do that off camera because honestly, it's just really boring to watch. And I wanted to play music and not, you know, have my phone be filming and just utter silence. Now, the main thing that we're waiting on for this car is a bunch of drive shaft stuff. I ordered 2 adapters, one for the transmission, the ZF transmission. It replaces the Guibo thingy that whatever BMW calls it, that little like flex disc where the stock BMW drive shaft would connect to. I ordered an adapter flange to use a Dana Spicer 1350, like a traditional drive shaft flange. And then I also ordered one for the diff, so that way I can take those up to a custom drive shaft shop up in my hometown, get a custom drive shaft made, just a single piece. A lot of people were like, oh, it's a single piece, it's gonna cause a lot of vibration in an E30. That's okay, full-blown race car, gutted caged interior, don't really care about vibrations. Once that shows up, we can get the drive shaft, all that stuff connected, bleed the clutch, run the brake lines, because I have all the brake lines here, just gotta put them somewhere. Just gotta wait. I'm just waiting. Still waiting on power steering stuff. So this is like the sucky part of the build because I also want to put content out there, but also I gotta wait to, you know, get parts in, and I gotta wait to be able to afford the parts. So it's just kind of one of those things. Now, a lot of you guys expressed concerns about the 180 swapped E30. I don't know if I mentioned it already in this video, but this car is the absolute focus. I want this car to be done before I even think about doing anything to this. Now, I might tinker with this engine and setup and just do some like cosmetic stuff, like, you know, wire wheel the block and paint it and whatever. But I'm not actually gonna start like buying parts or anything like that for this unless I find like an amazing deal on something local. But the 07K swap is the absolute focus because it's been way too long. It's been a year. I want this thing to run and drive and move. So unfortunately, a super boring video, but hey, we bought 2 07Ks, whatever, cool, that's sick. Can't wait to tell you guys about the project that I'm gonna use the one for in the future. You guys might initially be a little upset about what it's going into, but just trust me, I have a plan, okay? I might be a little crazy, but I do have a plan. So we just gotta, you know, run along. We just gotta run with that, okay? Otherwise, that's really it for today's video. I'm sorry, it's boring, just me yapping, but it is what it is. Hopefully next week we get some more wrenching. Anyway, love you guys, have a great day. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more 07K swap stuff, 180 swap stuff, drift car stuff, car builds, whatever, I don't know, just you want to see stuff, subscribe, do the things. Love you, goodbye.